HBCU Overdrive is proudly sponsored by WeWorkForEverything.org. At WeWorkForEverything.org, this is for those who are trying to build for a dream with their latest hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and accessories and more. You can have it all here at a reasonable price. Black owned and operated out of the great state of New York. Like I said, get suited and booted. Check it out at WeWorkForEverything.org. Peace. Let's try this again. What is up, everybody? What is going on? It's your boy, Doc Holiday. We back. We are back live in the dungeon again for another round of HBCU tonight, brought to you by HBCU Overdrive, which is also powered by WeWorkForEverything.org. Make sure you go ahead and check out the website. Get your hoodies ready because it's going to be a cold season right now. Get your long sleeves ready because it's going to be a cold season right now. And if you don't care about the cold, get you a shirt. All right. Check out the website, WeWorkForEverything.org. Black owned and operated. Check them out. Like I said, WeWorkForEverything.org. Hey, look. What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? Sorry about the delay. I think I'm having a delay right now on my laptop. I don't know, but anyway, man, it was we had a great time. I'm about to tell you about my experience down in Florida. But before we do all that, let's get into these announcements as always. Like we at church. Thank you, Mr. Body. All right, man. As always, make sure whenever the thing want to pull up. All right. Make sure you become a subscriber on the YouTube channel. All you have to do is just hit the subscribe button on the outside of the chat. And also, you can hit me on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, HBCU_Overdrive, Facebook, David E. Smith Douglas, where you find me at. You can check me out on all of those. So I started posting a lot more, try to post a lot more content over there. Also, man, look, you want to become an exclusive member, just become a family member. All you have to do is just hit the join button. It is in the chat to be exact. Brought to you by my moderator, Mr. Quay. So all y'all do is just check it out in the chat and pick which one you want to do. Like I said, we're gonna go for the new year. We're gonna go back to one. Just gonna go back to one tier. And last but not least, if you wanna still contribute to the show, here's a cash app right here, HBCU Overdrive. You can also hit the PayPal and the Zelle. It is in the ticker right now. PayPal at David Smith 1925. Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. First and foremost, before we get into that, we got birthdays right now. Special shout out to my little cousin Taylor Smith, just turned 29 years old today. Much love from your big cousin. Hope you enjoy your day. I know the girls is beating you up right now. And like I said, much love to you, my boy. You just like a little brother to me. So happy birthday, have a good birthday, and love you, man. And anybody got a birthday in December, man, let me know. Let me know. What's up? It's December. It is the last month of the year. It is the last month of the year, and I can't believe it. Can't believe it. We are almost to 2024. We got big things coming up down the line in 2024. Just let y'all know. So y'all be on the lookout for everything that's coming up in 2024, man. We got started doing. I'm gonna go ahead and start doing a ranking for men's and women's basketball. We're gonna start again talk about more on baseball. We're gonna get into the recruiting. We're gonna talk a little bit more about the transfer portal. We're gonna talk a lot about our institutions, what we can do to improve them. We're gonna talk about what needs to be done to get our funding back up at our institutions. We got a lot to talk. We're gonna have a lot to do for next year. So y'all be ready, y'all be prepared for it, and let's get to it. But other than that, look, first and foremost, shout out to I hate to say this, y'all. I hate to say this. Shout out to the Rattlers from Florida A&M University for winning the 2023 SWAC championship game 35-14 over Prairie View this past weekend. Other than that, man, yes, sir, my boy. If y'all know this man right here, these dudes right here, Golden Boot Podcast, go check them out. Make sure y'all subscribe to them, man. They are some good brothers. My boy Pooh Bear and Ant, good dudes. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. Like I said, they up and coming also, man. You just don't get HBC. You get HBCUs. You talk about FBS, talk about LSU. We talk about a lot of stuff that's on the channel. But go ahead and check them out. Also, go check out, subscribe to the Wild Card, Kendall and Khalil. Those two young men right there, they got something going. Go check them out. Let's get them to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get my boy Golden Boot to 1,000 subscribers. Y'all know how we do it, family. That's how we do. Let's see who up in here, man. We got a lot of people up in here. Got a lot of people in here today. We, of course, my moderator, Mr. Quay, and we got Mr. Rosier representing FAMU. As always, we got good doctor. It was nice meeting this man right here on Friday night, man. It was lovely meeting this man right here, man, because this man right here is the one that's invested in me. He is investing a lot in me. And we gonna get it done, man. So you ain't gotta worry about nothing. We gonna get it done. Oh Lord, EA, you tripping, man. But shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. And of course, Howard's in the house. We're gonna start again to talk about Celebration Bowl. We're gonna get into these matchups for the Celebration Bowl. We're gonna talk about players to watch. Coaching aspects. We're going to get into a lot of that for the next week or so. We got Sonic Boom C98, my bro, right there. What's good, man? Nah, you ain't got to catch the next one, man. You ain't got to catch the next one. Shoot, we good. We good. You family. My boy Antonio, man. I'm gonna we send condolences to you, man. You still you like my family, you like my little bro. Sending condolences to you and your family, man. Um, um, hope everything get better out. All right. We got, of course, we got the good. We got one of my unks, Mr. Steve, Mr. Campbell. First and foremost, I'm gonna tell y'all about my my meeting with Mr. Campbell, seeing Mr. Campbell for the first time. I'm thinking this man gonna be tall. I'm thinking he gonna be. I mean, he cool as hell, man. I think he gonna be tall and everything. This man the same height as my mama. Oh my! This man is the same height as my mama. And we got Mr. Body up in here, man. What's going on? Much love to you, Tell Drew. We're gonna have to get an interview with him, man. Miss Mary, as always. Miss Mary, as always, man. Ma'am, appreciate you for showing up, as always. Leonard Chad, what's going on? And we got my bro Ashton. I met this man on Saturday, walking to the stadium. Didn't know. Me and my mom, we just walking. He got a picture with me. And we got the missus always. She is always watching. She is always in the comment. She don't say too much anything, but she'll let you know what's up. She will let you know what's up. We got Miss Jackson, Miss Joyce. How you doing? How you doing? I wish I could get there. I wish I could get to Atlanta, but I have to work. I have to work. I'm gonna have to work that weekend. But look at it. She gonna put her 2 cents in there. That's right. That's right. But yeah, get back to Mr. Campbell. I'm thinking like, Mr. Campbell at least about 5'11", something like that. Y'all know I'm 6'4", And I said, man, Mr. Campbell is like every bit of 5'5", 5'6". He is the same height as my mama. He is the same height as my mama. But then, he did tell he was not lying about the Escalade sitting on 26. Man, I didn't go to Lawson. I stayed on the sideline. I was under the tent with the AD and the commissioner, John Grant, and Andrew Roberts. That's where I was at during the rain delay. I not go to Lawson. My mom stayed up under make sure she was close. Yeah. Cause you can't tell me you ain't 5'6", man. Cause man, come on now. You like literally. No, but man, look, I'm what up, CT? I didn't get over there, man. But first and foremost, man, before we get into all the transfer portal talk, we're gonna get to my experience at Tallahassee. Getting down to Tallahassee. Look, first and foremost, me and my mom, we drove. I supposed to be on the road at 5 o'clock in the morning. My black ass didn't wake up until after close to 6 o'clock. So mom calling me, sister called me. We had to go, got everything. Everything was packed up. Everything was in the truck. Everything was in the truck. And I basically had to go from my house from Irving to Oak Cliff to get my mother. So, and she was already ready. She had her bag and stuff and ready. She had a pillow, the blanket. So she wasn't gonna drive for shit. She was gonna be on the passenger seat sleep. uh, she gonna be. She was in the passenger seat sleep most of the time. But um, other than that, we get on the road, smooth drive, no popos out there whatsoever. Even when I drove through Ruston, it really wasn't no laws out there. Get into Mississippi, got there quick, fast, in a hurry. Stop, man. Look, um, um, drove through Hattiesburg, got to southeast Mississippi. But let me know if my internet is glitching, y'all. Just let me know if my internet is glitching, because if it's glitching, let me know. Uh, it shouldn't be glitching. But I'm checking on my phone. So get that, go get to Alabama. We drive across, back way, took the bridge over, took the African Town Bridge over part of the bay. First of all, I ain't driving that bridge no more. If I do go to Tallahassee again, I ain't driving that bridge no more. That shit is too high for me. Okay, I'm good now. Thank you. That shit was too high for me. Then turn around, had to go across the Mobile Bay, and me and Water, we don't really get along, but I'm trying to get over my fear of that. My mama, that's another case. She turned her head, she done covered her face because she didn't want to see none of that stuff right there. She didn't want to see none of that stuff. Other than that, get into Tallahassee by 8 something, 8 something that night, on Friday night. Then time change came and kicked my butt. Time change kicked my butt. We get invited by Dr. Lori to get some food, because we've been on the road for about 11 hours. Y'all gotta understand, we drove. I ain't flying. We ain't trying to look for no tickets or nothing like that. I don't fly. But we was on the road for about 11 hours, and but it was well worth it, because this first time I ever been on been some like vacation with my mother, and it's just me and my mother. It never, I never did that. So, go with Dr. Lori's to her sister's house. Met Mr. Campbell, met the good doctor, met Dr. Lori, sister, Rocky, and yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. Met Osprey. Look, we saw each other. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say about that. If anybody want to bring that up, just call me, text me, whatever you want to. That's it. I ain't got no ill will towards the dude. So just keep pushing. That's it, and that's all. That's all I did. That's all I did. I felt some kind of way, yeah, but it's all right though. But in a sense, God working in mysterious ways. So I'm gonna be just like that. Lord with nah. So we gonna keep it G. We gonna keep it gangster. Like I always say, we gonna keep it G, keep it gangster. That's all. All right. He do his thing, I do my thing. I got my audience, got his audience. You know what I'm saying? We in the same space, but it's all good. It's all good. All right. But anyway, uh, the Airbnb was very nice. It was very nice. Loved it. Uh, they had too much went thing with it. Um, uh, really, it was just like a lot of just getting there, take a shower, or just wind down and go to sleep because my nerve, my body was kind of shaking, but the sleep I did good. It was good. It was a good sleep, and then woke up around 10 thinking that is 9 because I ain't used to Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry. I'm not used to the time change. Uh Now I ain't gonna be able to go to Atlanta, man. I'm gonna be here at home. I gotta work, but I will watch it and I will cover it. So you ain't got y'all. We'll have a post game show for that, and we'll get into all the little fine details for that. But um, but Saturday, like I said, Saturday we get up, get dressed, go to the Target across the street from from the Airbnb. Got us some umbrellas because first of all, it rained the whole weekend in Tallahassee. It only stopped for a couple of hours when the game started, when the game was going through and everything. I'm going to get into that. Um, get on to the campus. Um, walked to parked at the baseball complex. Walked over towards Bragg Stadium. Um, get over there. They first and foremost, like I said, when walking towards Bragg Stadium, front of the Lawson Center, that's when I met Ashton. You know what I'm saying? Got a picture with him. Then then Mr. Dwayne Sweet, he basically uh yeah, it was raining as hell, man. It was pouring down rain, man. I ain't used to that, you know. We used to when you get rain like that, we know something about to happen after that here in Texas. But shout out to Mr. Dwayne Sweet because he hit me up on Twitter. I gave him my number. And he texted me, told me where he was at as far as the tailgating. Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. My he, I don't eat fish because I'm allergic to fish, y'all. He cooked some fried catfish, and the presentation looked damn good. It made me want to take a bite out of it because even though I would have risked it all. um, but he had some fried chicken wings and some fries and everything. Look, man, shout out to Dwayne Sweet and his crew, you know what I'm saying, for treating us at the game during the tailgate. Um, and of course, this crew, they watch me all the time. Um, man, it was just something to see. And I'll never expect that I will be, recognized like that. Game was the start of the game was delayed for about 30 minutes because of lightning in the area. Then so my mom she had to stand in line. I had to go to the press box. So getting into the press box, did see Jay Walker. I ain't get a chance to talk to him like that because he was kind of back like in a rush. Uh did see Miss Tiffany Green. Um she was looking stunning as ever, as always. And Spoke to Dr. Cavill, uh, Josh Padilla, aka Westside Didi, for FAMU. Shout out to him. Also spoke to Mystic Earl Kitchens, man. If you haven't talked to, you want to know about black quarterbacks and everything, check out his show, The Post Route. Um, it's on YouTube also. Check it out under W. Earl Kitchens. Cool guy and everything. Gonna work on try to get him get some stuff like trying to get it set up as far as like graphics for him. So we gonna work on I'm gonna work on some stuff like that. Hey, when I want to meet Jay Walker, man, if it could be this week, it would be. I'm down for it. I'm down for it. Cause we gotta understand. We gotta talk about all this Howard stuff. Howard this, Howard that, man. Um, in the press box, it was so crowded. It was so crowded. I was like, you know what? I'd rather be down on the field. So one of the guys who went to FAMU and also went to Jackson State, um, he directed me towards the field, the sideline. So where I was posted at, I was posted uh, um, in front of the field house. I was posted in front of the field house. So game starts. Take my it's still raining a little bit. Take the camera out. Start taking pictures and everything. Took my phone. I was using my camera. I was using the phone camera. I was using everything at my disposal to make sure I got all the content for everybody on here. First, the play that I think I put on there is a 20-second clip. Marcus Riley catching the ball, getting down at the 3-yard line. That clip alone on my YouTube shorts got over 4,000 views. Just that clip alone got over 4,000 views. While on the sideline, I'm seeing a lot of people, with different cameras, different lenses and stuff. So I'm thinking in my head like, hey, I gotta thank you, Miss Mary. I appreciate it. But on the sideline, I'm just thinking because I got my camera and everything, and I'm just thinking like, man, I gotta find, I gotta get some lenses, I gotta get some, I gotta get this, I gotta get that, I gotta, what I'm saying, I'm thinking, I started thinking big, I had started thinking like big because I might, like I said, this is going. If I want this to be my profession, I want this to be my profession, and I just started thinking big. I had to talk to Dr. Lori, and she's a cool person, y'all. She's a cool person, all right. But like I said, I was just looking at everybody else's cameras and stuff. I just started thinking like I need to get some more lenses, get some, better lenses and stuff. So I just started thinking in that aspect. I didn't think, well, shit, I got this little old camera right here and everything. I can't do nothing. Nah, I'm still out there taking pictures. It doesn't matter to me. I was out there to do a job, y'all. FAMU scored the first touchdown. All I seen was this lady. I think the lady had on this she had on a bucket hat, and she was in a windbreaker. All I know is that was AD Sykes, y'all. That was AD Sykes. I talked to AD Sykes after the touchdown. I got a picture with her. I told Ashley she can come on the show. Uh, it was like I asked she come on the show. We're gonna try to make some things work. So I'm gonna hit her up on Facebook, not Facebook, but on Twitter. Because I told her round of pettiness for the Florida Classic, that luncheon, it was extraordinary. Hey, Mr. Ford, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good. I'm back in Dallas now, man.
Yeah.
I want to just talk about my experience. So, like I said, I saw AD Sykes.
Yeah.
He's real good person. I'm gonna try to get on the show. Took a picture with her. Who else?
What about Alvin Hollins? Did you meet Alvin?
No, I didn't get to meet Alvin. I did meet John Grant.
Yeah, you met John Grant?
I met John Grant. Of course, I talked to Andrew Roberts. I talked to the commissioner. I thought he didn't know who I was, but he knew who I was. So I talked to the commissioner. He asked me how I was doing. Asked me how the show was doing. I told him it was doing great. And I think his whole mindset, he's like, man, I'm ready for this game to be over with because it's gonna rain again. And he tired of it, the game was getting delayed.
Right.
Also, Charles Bishop, I talked to him. Ashley Robinson was down there. I talked to Ashley. Me and Ashley, we were talking about our kids.
Yeah. Now, did you see Rudy Hubbard?
No, I did not get to see him.
Okay, you didn't get a chance to see Rudy.
No. How you doing, Dr. Lori?
Hey.
Hey, Dr. Lori.
Can you hear us?
I'm good. How are you? Hey.
Hey.
We are good. Speaking about my experience at Tallahassee. So, who else I talked to? I'm trying to figure out who else I talked to. Stephen Gaither, HBCU Game Day.
Right.
Talk to him.
Let me ask you this. How did you like the new addition to Bragg Stadium? They've done some renovations to Bragg Stadium. I know one of them is that you were talking about the press box. How did you like the press box?
I didn't stay in the press box. I looked inside for a brief second, and I was talking to Dr. Cavill.
Right.
He was like, you got to, in his words, you got to get in where you fit in. So I basically was like, now just send me on to the sideline. That's what I did. I went on the sideline, and I did not move from the sideline.
So, Dr. Lori, aren't y'all getting ready to do some more renovations to Bragg Stadium?
Well, oh man, that's a long, drawn out story because those bathrooms need to be renovated, but it's going to cost a lot of. I think they were talking about $10 million more or whatever. Right. And my thing is, and a lot of alums have said too that we just need to do what Alabama State did. Just go ahead and get a new stadium. Even though we love Bragg now, don't forget that we love Bragg. But putting that much more money into that, we already had to renovated, and they eliminated with the renovation. They eliminated a lot of seats because I think it's like 22,000, whatever. But Bragg is historical, so of course we would never, get rid of it. But I just think that we just need to have stakeholders and get the legislator on board to know that we need to, we want to think big. And
right.
Alabama State, with me practicing here in Montgomery, that stadium is off the chain to me.
Oh yeah, it's a gorgeous play.
Yeah. So
let me ask you that now. Aren't they getting ready to spend $100 million on Doak Campbell? Florida State Stadium. Aren't they getting ready to spend like $100 million?
I don't know. I forget how much, but there was so much pushback on that. People were really mad and upset about that. They were like, no, and they were pissed off about them getting ready to do that. But the reason why I joined you all tonight was to say, I just want to tell what my experience was at the game, and
Right.
actually meeting David with HBCU Overdrive. We had such a good time. I don't know whether you have a good time?
Man, I had a good time, except for it was raining all day.
I know. We had such a good time, and just meeting each other. He having food, breaking bread. I met his mother. It was just a really good time, even though the weather was just horrendous. But this is Tallahassee weather. Tallahassee weather is like that.
Yeah.
Really Florida weather, right? Because Florida weather is, back in the day growing up, we used to call it dog days. And which,
that's right.
It'll rain for 2 straight weeks all day long. And it rained all day. And and we were praying. My mom was praying, my cousins was praying, like, Lord, please let the game be dry. And we got there, it was delayed, and then it seemed like it was trying to clear up. And then we were having just nothing but clearness. And then all of a sudden, after this halftime, the heavens just opened up and it was just raining so bad. So I actually left and went back because my cousin lives on FAMU campus. So I actually went back to her house and everything because we were just wet. And so, but there's a lot of people that stayed down there. We had such a great time. It was something that was in the air. It was like we knew that it was going to finally happen after so much adversity that the university has had, or the athletic team has had to make it to this point. So, hey, we're going to be turned up, and I know people going to hate it, but Atlanta is FAMU North.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
We already turned up. There's already parties being planned. And so I will be in Atlanta. And one thing I can say about, Kofi and I were very good friends.
Right.
And we worked on a lot of projects together with the Marching 100 and stuff like that. And Kofi and I talk so much about this day actually happening. And I'll be honest with you, I feel, I don't know how you say it, I feel some kind of way because he's not here. Right. And he wanted this to happen for his Rattlers. And all we can say is that, we just so happy. And I'm actually going to be on a program up in Atlanta talking about Kofi and what he envisioned for the Rattler team. And we're hoping to actually have, Willie wear one of his shirts for the games instead of that shotgun shirt. We're hoping he'll have on Kofi's shirt. So, right. So hey, we're gonna celebrate his life and about how much he wanted for the Rattlers. But I'll tell you one thing: I was glad that David actually came down HBC Overdrive, and he had me running errands for him. Go ahead and tell him.
Hey, look, I was on the road. I didn't know what was going on. So I was on the road because, like I said, I asked, I just asked, can you get the press congestion? That's it. That's all I asked for.
He had me. Mr. Ford, he had me. And me, I went and did it too. He was like, can you go get this for me? And I was just like, yeah, let me go get this for this man. And I tell you, I'm glad I did because me being a Rattler, I didn't know where it was. So I can imagine you trying to go find it, David. So I'm glad I went and found what you needed to have because it took me a time of trying to figure out where it was, and it was in the rain. And so, but yeah, so I'm glad he was able to make it. And I'm glad that he was able to see that, we support him and his platform.
Well, I read that even though it was a rainstorm, you had 14,000 paid attendance.
Oh, yeah. They was coming.
Yeah, I heard.
They was coming, and it would have been so much bigger if it wasn't for the rain, but people were coming. They wanted to do it. I had such a good time, so I know in Atlanta, I'm getting ready for having a good time up there as well.
Now, Dr. Lori, were you in school with Nate Newton?
Nate Newton?
Was he at FAM with you?
I don't know that name. Do you remember R.C. Eason?
You know, no, R.C. Eason was played. His high school was Thomas County Central. His hometown is no more than about 20 miles from mine.
So that's who I went to school with. My roommate at the time was from Jacksonville. She was dating him at the time when he was at So yeah, that was my era. It was R.C. Eason and all them.
Yeah, I knew Eason. Eason went to Thomas County Central. He was from a little town called Meigs, Georgia.
Well, you know what, Dr. Ford, Mr. Ford, what I wanted you to meet, you talked about Wally Williams.
Yeah, Wally, Big Wally.
Yeah, me and Wally are very good friends. And
I remember Big Wally went to the New Orleans Saints, I think.
He not there, he actually lost all that weight.
Yeah, I remember. Now, he played for Ken Riley, because he's from Tallahassee, isn't he?
Yeah, he's from Tallahassee.
He's from Tallahassee. Yeah, I remember Wally. Yeah, Wally was when he was at FAM, he was a center. I think he was a center, but he also used to punt. He would punt.
Yeah, so Wally and I are good friends, and he gonna be. I was like, dang, I was telling him, I said, Wally, I got somebody who talks about you all the time that you need to meet, and he was like, who? And I was telling him about you.
Oh, yeah, Wally was a bad boy. Now, Wally was a bad boy.
Yeah. So, so are you gonna be around, Mr. Ford? Or are you gonna hide?
No.
Do I have to come look for you?
I'm gonna be there for the Atlanta game. I'm gonna definitely be there for, like you said, this is second at Tallahassee right here. We expecting over 60,000. We thinking it's if John Grant and them, because usually what he does, he reserves that lower bowl, and that's about 50,000. But we thinking that game could draw 60, 65.
Okay, yeah, because I heard through alumni group that they already opened a second tier already.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, I got my ticket. I will be there. I will actually be there.
I can't be there. I gotta be working.
Oh yeah, I gotta be there too. Because FAM hadn't been up here in a long time.
No, we hadn't, man.
The last time I remember, y'all played Southern Dawson Odoms against that guy was named Joe Taylor. He was your head coach at that time.
Yeah.
That's been some years back.
Yeah, but David, I'm glad. HBCU Overdrive. I'm glad you made it back.
It don't matter. You can be Doc. My mama named me Dave. My mama.
I know, and your mom was so precious.
My mom was so precious. My mom, she had a good time. She was just saying it just rained too much for her. But but just to finish off the experience, she just kept an eye on me, and I made sure she was fine. In fact, while she was watching the game, she was getting updates from home with my niece because they were playing their playoff game on Saturday, and found out they won 42-0. So they going to the fifth round of the playoffs. But yeah, the whole experience, it was good. Like I said, if it wasn't raining, I think the experience would have been a little bit more up there. It would be a little bit more up there, and I'm just glad the fact that I got a chance to go and get to do something that I wanted to do. Cause my mom, she was like, somebody had asked her in the stands, like, you cheering for PV? She said, yeah, cause she's like, my granddaughter go to PV, and her best friend is the starting quarterback for PV. But she was like, I'm here for my son because he's doing a job, and he's doing something that he's been wanting to do for a long time. So the whole thing, the whole experience was. Hey, y'all did the thing. The good doctor gave, sent the money so before we get the rental car. drove us there and back in good condition. Mr. Campbell, my mom, she's like, "Who paid for the ticket?" I said, "Mr. Campbell paid for the tickets." She's like, "Ooh, thank God for Mr. Campbell. Thank you, Mr. Campbell." So my mom wouldn't tell you, "Thank you, Mr. Campbell, for getting the tickets." Also, I appreciate Israel and Uncle Sid for feeding us on a Saturday night. We left the stadium. We left the game. Got us a Waffle House, and look, we called it a night because we got up early. We got up in the morning and we got back on the road. So we took a different way to get home, Mr. Ford. So we went through Bainbridge.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to think what's counties, man. Bainbridge is not far from Tallahassee at all.
Right.
But let me say this. I want to give both of you a homework assignment. I need for you, Doc, to find out what is the date of the Florida A&M Jackson State game, and Dr. Lori, I want you to find out when is the Florida A&M Alabama State game for 24.
Okay.
Because they're saying that Alabama State is bringing FAMU to Montgomery. That's going to be their homecoming.
That's a homecoming.
Yeah, because I hope I can be at that game.
It's in October. It's like the second. It's like I think it's like either the second weekend or the third weekend of October.
That's FAM or is that Jackson State game? Which one?
FAMU.
The FAMU Jackson game or the FAMU Bama State?
Bama State.
So it's the second week in October?
Yeah. No, so we play. I got a date. Jackson State plays FAMU October the 19th.
Ooh. And so when does FAMU play Alabama State?
It might be that. It might be the following weekend.
Wait a minute, wouldn't that interfere with the Magic City?
Oh, it should be the weekend before FAMU play us.
Okay, should be the weekend before they play you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as soon as you can, Doc, I need to hear that FAMU schedule because FAMU's everybody's gonna be following them next year. They gonna be the 100, baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the game was hey, you started off fast. I give them that because I always complain about them starting off slow. They started off fast. Mr. Ford, defense is actually faster in person.
Right.
Than what you see on TV.
Right.
Anthony Dunn is who he is. Gentle Hunt is who he is.
Oh yeah.
In fact, Gentle is the person that took out Trezon at the game.
Okay.
Because he rolled over. I think he hit him. He rolled over him. And it was something with his. I think it was the side or rib or something like that. But he didn't come back in the game. Because I think that he ran into the locker room, and then he came back out. He wasn't in pads, so he was once he was out of the pads, he was done for the day.
Well, Dr. Lord, let me ask you a question. Don't you think Willie Simmons and his staff deserve a raise?
Man, we've been talking about that today. Y'all ain't got to work. Listen, I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna hear from me. Y'all ain't got to worry about that. We putting our money together right now.
Okay, because I was just thinking of it. I said, now he and his staff deserve a raise.
We putting our money together right now.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
FAMU Alabama State is October the 5th.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's gonna be October the 5th.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be nice. Yeah. Ooh, and that's also okay. So October the 5th, FAMU Alabama State. So what's the date for FAMU Jackson State?
I think October the 15th.
So FAM got to do. Wait a minute, let's get it right. FAM's got to do Alabama State one week and Jackson the next.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be rough.
Yeah, but hey, listen, you need to listen to Wally.
Yeah.
While we had this big conversation, we really need to start doing this. We need to start paying people in our conference and people out of our conference. We don't need to do those D2s anymore. We just really need to make sure we start really,
Well, now, Dr. Laura, let me just say this. I grew up in a time when FAMU played Tuskegee, and we looked forward to that game. Now, FAM would blow them out, but it was just something about FAMU and Tuskegee. And I know Tuskegee is a D2 school, but it was always an exciting time when Tuskegee would come to Bragg Stadium. I just had to put that in there now because we loved when Tuskegee and FAMU would meet up.
Yeah, I know. But we were just talking about that at the game, about how, we really want to be the top. And so we need to make sure that, we're challenged with University of South Florida, some of the other teams that we need to, be able to, compete with. And, I mean, and I was showed just by talking with Wally, a different view on our success and how we need to keep improving and making sure our strength of schedule is
Right.
really where it needs to be. So I'm like, so we need to do it, and we need to be positive about it, and we need to make sure we get back to those days when we won the first national championship in 1978.
I think you're on your way.
Yeah. So
now, Dr. Laura, let me ask you this. Don't you think it's time for FAM to start back playing in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I think we talked about that, but we need to have some stakeholders and stuff. And Jacksonville needs to be paying. That city needs to pay us to come there because have you been to Jacksonville? They got rid of that smell, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, that was the paper. They called it pup and paper mill.
Yeah, they got rid of that smell. So I think we need to get back to that since we're not gonna do OBC anymore. So, we need to get back to some of these cities, because I used to love going to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I grew up when they were going to Jacksonville.
And Georgia Southern, you play in Georgia Southern?
Yeah, Georgia Southern. I remember they would play South Carolina State there. Yeah. I remember going to a game they played Howard. That was back in the 70s. They played Howard in Jacksonville.
Yeah. So I know we need to get back to some of the stuff we used to do. So definitely. But I'll be in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully I'll meet you. Hopefully I'll get a chance to meet you.
Oh, somebody asked me about my videos. The
yeah, I saw them too.
It's on my phone. So when I get a chance to convert all this stuff to put it on here, I'm gonna get a chance to do all that. I got a lot of pictures on both my phone and the camera that I got. So we I'm pretty much the whole time I was pretty much out there doing the job and then networking at the same time. Found out, I talked to Andrew Roberts, and I found out this man from San Antonio, Texas. I didn't even know that. Then
Who is that?
Andrew Roberts, the associate commissioner. Then I found out that he's 2 years younger than me. So, so I talked to I talked to John Grant. We were talking about, in fact, during the rain delay, we was keeping up. Mr. Grant was keeping up with Alabama, Georgia, the Alabama Georgia game.
Yeah.
And, we just had this discussion about the championship game for the SWAC and how Alcorn should have won against Texas Southern in the game. He said that the Saturday's game would have been much more interesting if Alcorn would have won and they would have won the West and played FAMU. It would have been a much more interesting game.
You don't think FAMU would have blown out Alcorn?
Nah, I don't think they would have done. I don't think they would have done that. I think Alcorn, it would have been a closer game than what it is because Alcorn had something that Alcorn can do stuff that some other teams couldn't do against FAMU, and they can pass the ball.
Yeah,
And
they
then
can throw the
also,
ball. Yeah, they were
can throw the
vertical.
ball, and then they can actually still run the ball to try to throw them off.
Well, you know what? I wanted Alcorn to be there, to be honest with you. I did, because it's been so long since I seen them play us, the Rattlers. And it was back when I was in school when we used to play them. But again, I'm going to say this, if we are now the number one in the nation in regards to no one beating us in Bragg.
Right. Yeah.
It just
you have the longest win streak in the nation, I think, in FCS, right?
Yeah, I don't know how many times I got to get up on these platforms and say that.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen. And, and I'll be honest with you, this is the year to Rattler. And, I wanted those Mississippi boys to be there, because I'm telling you, we always liked them back in the day. Alcorn man is a nice man.
Oh yeah.
So we always liked them back in the day, but it didn't happen. And if they would have came, we still would have beat them. So what I'm saying
think so
is
too.
It was just a year to Rattler, and no one is beating us in Bragg. It's just not happening no time soon.
Now, the biggest thing I saw with Alcorn was that they didn't have any defensive linemen. And that was going to get you killed against FAM, because FAM got all that depth with that offensive line, and they're going to blow you out. You can't play FAMU and you ain't got a defensive line. You can't do it, because FAM is too powerful up front. When you start talking about Colvin, that Lee kid, and remember the pro prospect, I think he was hurt the whole year. That Goss kid, was it Jalen Goss?
Jalen Goss.
Yeah, that kid was hurt almost the whole year. Is he coming back?
I don't know.
What about that kid from LSU? That kid they got from LSU at FAM? Thomas, was it Thomas?
Yeah, Cam Thomas. Cardell Thomas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Listen, I think they would have blown Alcorn out, because Alcorn didn't have no front seven. They didn't have no defensive line. And you can't play FAM and you ain't got no defensive line. They will blow you out, because FAM's offensive line and defensive line, they solid. And by the way, Miss Laura, I heard that Willie done offered every black college star that's in the transfer portal, he trying to bring them to Tallahassee. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
I heard he after Andrew Body, he after that kid at Alabama State, he after the running back at South Carolina. He wants a black college all-star team, doesn't he?
Yeah, I just we had calls all day about that, because we are the ones that try to get the money together to make sure he can be able to do this. And so he is serious, all of them.
Because I heard he's offered Keyshawn Johnson, he's offered Andrew Body, he's offered that kid that Kobe talks about all the time, that big time running back from
Juwan Howe.
Yeah, he done offered him, and then they said some more kids he's offered.
Yeah.
From the black colleges.
Yeah. We I know Jackson State, we offered Keyshawn as soon as he entered the portal.
I heard Jackson offered him too. I heard that too.
We offered him. We offered we got a kid from South Carolina, Kobe. He upset about that because he said we keep going into their backyard to get them players. Hey, y'all got the players, so you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be our footprint.
Because Musa is done, and then of course Isaiah Major is done too. They're seniors.
Yeah, they done.
And you know what Willie said? He ain't gonna wait till the last minute to get this together. He ain't crazy.
Right.
He gonna go ahead and get that stuff done now. I
know you've heard South Carolina State has offered Chennis Berry a job, and it's up to him to sign the contract. Because now one thing Willie's wanted to do, he's wanted to keep the rivalry with South Carolina State. And so I know y'all are playing FAM is playing South Carolina State next year.
Yeah.
So if Chennis gets that should be a big game. That's Chennis against Willie Simmons. That should be a major matchup.
Yeah. So it's gonna be. My God, and I think he even said that, he doesn't stop, because I'm like, okay, after Celebration Bowl, can we just take a break? No, they're not taking a break. He's
gonna be recruited. Because there's an article on the national circuit right now saying that Willie should go to Tulane. Have you heard that?
No.
I heard it.
Yeah, they saying that Willie would be a great fit at Tulane. I hope I know Willie got more sense than that, but I'm just saying that's what's on the wire right now. Some guy, I can't think of the guy's name. He wrote an article saying that Willie Simmons would be great at Tulane because Willie Fritz just took that job at University of Houston.
Mm.
Oh, he got the job?
Yeah, he got the job at University of Houston. I think he's taking most of his staff with him.
So who's going to be at Southern and Grambling? Do we have any?
That's what we waiting on.
We waiting on that one. So
yeah, I heard something real crazy about my school. Somebody talking about we looking at Ed Reed. I sure hope we not.
Ed Reed said, in fact, let's get into that. So, y'all want to know more about my experience and like true experience, I'm gonna still keep talking about that. But Tallahassee was good. It is a good town. It is a great top college town. Even though the Noles wasn't there, they was in North Carolina playing in the ACC championship game, which they got hosed out of the CLP.
But it's their fault, Doc. It's their fault. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for FSU. You got all that money. You spent over $180 million on sports, and two of your quarterbacks are Division II. It's FSU's fault. It's Mike Norvell's fault. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for no Seminoles.
I feel sorry for Jordan Travis though, because
but listen, look at the two people they pulled out. Let me tell you something. If them two quarterbacks they had at Florida State were black, there ain't no way they'd be playing quarterback. There's no way they would let them play quarterback at Florida State. Both of them boys are Division II kids. Nobody feels sorry for FSU. You know what I'm talking about, Dr. Lori?
Yeah, listen. We at FAMU, we sure don't feel sorry.
Yes, ain't nobody feeling sorry for them. Them and Dion.
Oh, we ain't gonna get into that, man. we ain't gonna get into that.
We got our own problems. We don't feel sorry for them.
Nobody feeling sorry for them.
Blue said that ain't no traction for Willie going to Tulane. There ain't no talks about that.
Good. That's right. I know he got more sense than that.
But anyway, let's get into this. We gonna get into this, Mr. Ford.
Yeah.
So Ed Reed goes on the Pivot, that podcast, that show right there. I watch it. It's a great show. I watch it all the time. Ryan Clark and Fred Taylor and Shannon Crowder. So he goes on there. Now there's a clip on there at the 37-minute mark where he starts to talk about the incident with Bethune and him getting a call from Dion. So he's saying that Dion called him about the job. At the same time, Bethune-Cookman called Ed Reed about the job. So Bethune-Cookman called first. Now, Dion said, well, I want you to be the next head coach. Now, sir, you don't have that type of power because that don't even run with you. That goes through the AD and through the president. Second of all, you go and you turn around and you name I want TC to be the head coach. Not knowing that TC was supposed to be the head coach before you even got there. That's the reason why TC stayed. He came back to Jackson State to be on the staff with John Hendricks because he was going to be the next in line. He's the next in line. All right. So, but as he make the splash, he hires Dion. All right. But it's to the point where you start talking about the stuff that happened at Bethune, sir, you didn't even have your contract was getting drawn up You didn't even sign on the dotted line, and you brought yourself up to the campus and tried to. I mean, of course, you gonna clean it up and stuff like that. Good for you. Hey, you did something for free. That's out of charity right there.
Right.
But you still had no right to bash the school because they didn't have your office ready, or they didn't do this, or they didn't do that. You know, it wasn't up to you now because you was still not under contract. Now I understand if you was under contract and you had those issues right there, you can say, you know what I'm saying, you can say that. You can address it, you know what I'm saying, those issues. But because you didn't have pen to paper, you created a whole fiasco where it could have just been diffused and be like, okay, look, look, they ain't got all the stuff ready. I ain't even under contract, not just yet. But I'm gonna wait until I sign my name on the paper, and then we gonna get, you know what I'm saying, we gonna get to work. I would have did it that way. That's the way it would have been done. Now, he does have interest in wanting to be the head coach at Grambling. Of course, you know, I think he got family at. I think he has somebody that works at school also. At was it at Southern? I think it was at Southern.
Yeah, I think it was. He has connection to both schools.
Both schools.
Yeah.
So, my thing is, you done had over. It not even been a year. It hasn't been a year because remember all this stuff happened in January.
Right.
So it haven't been a year. Have you, as a person, just kind of thought about what you know what I'm saying? What the words that you put out there, what you said, and the narrative that you put out there is bigger than, you know, what it is, that you know you can actually hurt institutions just with your words alone. Just you putting out the narrative. Because when you put the narrative out, people are going to go out there and run with it. They're going to believe, most people, because it just, like you said, it's the celebrity worshiping. They're going to believe you before they believe somebody else that works at the school or that's in the program. So to me, I'm gonna be honest with you. If he comes in not as a head coach, but if he comes in as a coordinator, a defensive coordinator, or you know what I'm saying, defensive backs coach, or something like that, I'm good with that because then you can work on being somebody that can actually develop a player. Then when the time is right, then you get moved up to becoming a head coach, or then you go and fill out a job to be a head coach. Because it don't have to. Nobody don't have to give you the job. They don't have to give you the job.
But you know what? I think some of the issues are too with him. And he has to understand, well, someone needs to pull him aside and actually talk to him about historically Black colleges, really universities. They really need to kind of give him some insight. It's something totally different that he's ever experienced before. And all HBCUs are different. I mean, Grambling is different from Southern. Southern's different from FAMU. And he has to understand, you know, I consider myself to be a formal person, and formalities mean a lot to me, and protocol. Right. And so he has to understand, you know, what the culture is. Whenever you come into any new organization and you're going to be the head of it, whatever, you don't just come in and just change everything. You need to come and look and see first. And that look and see may be 2 or 3 months and see how things are going, whatever. You just can't come in and just change everything. That's not going to work because you need allies.
Right.
And your allies are going to tell you where the bodies are buried. And if you come in and you piss everybody off, you know, they ain't gonna tell you nothing, and they're gonna get ready and they're gonna team up and get rid of you. So he has to understand how HBCUs work. You have to sometimes just be quiet and you gotta listen. You gotta really listen, and you gotta see how things are done. It's almost like a black church, right?
Right.
You know, my dad's pastor for 31 years. You know, some of the stuff they do, you can't figure it out. But the building fund and all that kind of stuff, you know, come on now. And but you know, what y'all doing with that? Why it take y'all so long? Well, that's how they work. And you have to be able to navigate that. And I think that he does not. He has. I don't know whether he can even coach. I hope that he can. You know, and he just needs to see that, you know, when you come into an institution that is historically black, there's a lot of things that you have to take in effect of, even though you may want to change it, but you got to be able to, first of all, you're way too emotional, and you can't be emotional at these black institutions because people are going to hurt your feelings all the time. That's what they do. They gonna talk. I mean, come on now. It's like going to a family reunion and they ain't seen you in a long time. Like, oh, girl, you done got so big. And you're like, what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's how you greet me? And, you know, but that's just black culture.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he really understands that. And someone needs to pull him aside and say, look, you can't be emotional with these people. You got to be able to look at things correctly and be able to if you want to change it, you got to be there for a little bit. And then you say, well, you know what? And generally, you know, Paul says in the Bible about gentle persuasion.
Right.
You got to gently persuade people to your way of thinking. Just can't come in there and say, y'all ain't doing this right. Let me do the and you just go off. That's not going to sit well with black people. And you, even sometimes when I deal with my patients, I have to understand where they're coming from. Yeah. You know, they ain't got the copay sometimes. You know, sometimes they don't have the money, whatever, you know. And so you just have to be careful. And I think with Ed Reed, I mean, hopefully he can coach. But I don't even know. I haven't even heard that. But he needs to understand when he even wants to go to these institutions, somebody needs to pull him aside and talk to him. Look, at black institutions, it's the president that really runs the institution, and he answers to the board of trustees. And that's how they run it. And you got to be careful that you get you some allies. Somebody's going to protect you while you're there to run your agenda. And if you don't do that, you never going to be able to make it at HBCU. It's not like a PWI. That's how they do it. And, you know, and I'm sorry, this is what I want to say too. It's a lot about who you know, who know you. And you better hope if they know you that they like you. And that you don't offend them, whatever. So you just got to be careful. And I don't think that he has a temperament. And I don't, because he's too emotional. I mean, too emotional. And I think that, you know, I'm glad he said what he said about BCU, but he should have kept it private. And, you know, and brought in his resources to help that problem there. You know, and so I think that's one of the things. I'm not sure that he can do anything with Grambling, but he needs to understand where he's going to be at and be careful of that you don't piss people off because they're not going to be there for you.
Right. We got Miss Timona in the house, and we got Mr. Chuck Hunt live from Monroe is in the house. What's going on, y'all?
All right. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. You good now. They fixed that problem. All right. They fixed the problem already.
I'm just chiming in on what Dr. Laurie was talking about with Ed Reed. You know, he's from my home state. He's from down in St. Charles Parish in St. Rose, Louisiana. And went to Destran High School. And yeah, great ball player. He played at University of Miami. Destrehan is not far from New Orleans. And
Right.
by the way, we have Louisiana State high school football championships going on starting Thursday through Saturday at the Louisiana Superdome. I want to point that out as well. You all might want to recruit some of these people. So there's a lot of talent going to be in that Superdome um, coming up. But Ed Reed, he's saying about the facilities, but he played at the University of Miami. University of Miami didn't have the best facilities at one time. If Howard Schnellenberger was here today, he talked about those facilities when he became head coach there at Miami. Miami was a program that was about, they were close to cutting out football, and the facilities weren't great. He had to really go and sell that program. He had to go into areas that they had never been, like Liberty City and Miami, and some of those other black areas down there. And think about, he wanted to coach the first national championship team, but they didn't have people failed to realize that Miami didn't have the best facilities. They said the best facility, you think about Florida, and they talk about Florida State. They said Florida State didn't have no great facilities when Bobby Bowden was there. Florida, people forget that Florida State used to be an all-female school that went co-ed. I think back in
Right.
the 50s.
That's right.
Yes, and but that's what people fail to realize about Miami, that those facilities were not great. I know people that used to coach at Miami that talked about that. They said it wasn't the best situation. They said now they have the best facilities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. When it comes down to it, I looked at it. When I was on, we was on the campus. We drove around the campus, walked on campus at FAMU. I like what in the sense, I like what I saw. I mean, it had, from somebody. My cousin even reached out to me. She stays in Chicago. She graduated from FAM in 2002. She said that it's a step above from when she was there in school. But we get back to Ed Reed. My whole thing is I would rather for you to go the route that my guy Antonio Cromartie is going, because he's at St. Augustine in North Carolina.
Yeah,
He's a
Cromartie.
defensive analyst. Yeah, he's a defensive analyst.
Yeah, I heard.
Move up in a rank. Like, get your foot in the door. Learn from other folks about being what it takes to be a head coach. Because you can coach anytime in the day, but what does it take for you to be an actual head coach? To lead young men. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. That's the route, in a sense. If you want to put it like that, that's the route that Ed Reed needs to go. You can't. I don't think you need to jump in to be an actual head football coach. Like, you can't. It's and everybody wants to ride the wave with Deion Sanders. I mean, Deion is who he is. He is Deion. He,
one of a kind.
He's one of a kind. It ain't gonna make no other person like that man right there. He was looking for microwave success because he wanted to go to the Power 5, which is now going to be the Power 4 after next year. So that's the reason why he went out there and recruited all the talent for Jackson State, because he was looking to get it done quick. He would rather see the house. He would rather try to cook something, see the house burn, and instead of taking your time with it and actually, go, look at the directions and when you cook and stuff like that. He ain't want to do all that. He wanted to be just quick, fast, quick.
Assembly line.
Yeah, it's an assembly line. He go the route, like, even when somebody put in the chat Eddie George had to learn about Eddie George learned about Tennessee State when they even got to Nashville, when he was with the Titans. He learned about Tennessee State, but he had to learn a little bit more when he took that job. And the man is still learning to this day about the you know what I'm saying, still learning about Tennessee State. That's the reason why with him, he doesn't get a lot of flack from other folks. You get what I'm saying? He don't get a lot of flack from other folks. Because he knows what the struggle is. Like, you
he's humble. That's why he doesn't get a lot of flack. He's humble.
Right.
Well, Mr. Ford. Well, since who do you think is going to be the coach at FAMU?
Football, basketball. Which one?
Football.
Willie ain't going nowhere.
He ain't.
Will ain't going for that trap. See, the reason they talking that, remember the guy that was the AD at FAMU that had to falling out with the president? He's down at Tulane now.
Gaucher?
Gaucher's at Tulane. And they just sending out that Willie ain't gonna fall for that.
Well, who's gonna be the head coach at Alcorn?
Hold on. Because I just seen that.
Mr. Ford.
Huh?
Who's gonna be the head coach at Alcorn?
Okay, did he leave? Did McNair leave? He didn't sign his contract?
I don't know. They crystal balled him to Texas Southern.
Where you put it out.
But Texas Southern is trying to bring in a guy who's a graduate, Brett Maxey.
Yeah, he's played the Saints.
They trying to bring in Brett Maxey. There's another guy they're trying to bring in too.
Mickey Joseph. I know his name.
Mickey Joseph. That's right. Those were the two.
Well,
it was Brett Maxey, Mickey Joseph. Huh?
I did listen to the coach that was exiting from Tulane, and he was just like, the administration does not support the football.
They got
because Tulane is more it's academic.
Tulane is in the league with Duke University, Emory University, Vanderbilt, Tulane. Tulane has the largest number of billionaires in their alumni. It's an old school with a lot of money, got a medical school, got a law school. Mm-hmm. But Fritz proved that if you solid as a football coach, you can win at Tulane because he won at Tulane.
Mr. Campbell said that FAMU got old money and they're going to keep
Willie ain't going nowhere.
So you think he's just doing it to get a raise maybe?
No, that's Gaucher. Willie's gonna get a raise. That's Gaucher sending out flares. You know how you throw stuff against the wall and hoping it stick? That's Gaucher.
Okay.
Willie ain't going nowhere. Willie is trying to dominate the SWAC for the next 10 years. I don't know if you heard me. All the black stars that are going into the portal, Willie has offered all of them.
Blue said
he's trying to bring a black college all-star team to Tallahassee.
Yeah, Blue said that Fred McNair is not a runner for Texas Southern. He only went he was on the campus at Texas Southern only for Alcorn. He could get the leverage over Alcorn for him to sign an extension. So he ain't going nowhere. Now,
I'm just talking. I'm just asking a question.
The other night you were talking about South Carolina State, and because that's in national news too. That South Carolina State has made an offer to Chennis Berry. They just waiting on him to sign the contract.
Chennis is stalling him out, Devo. He's waiting for the offer from the SWAC.
Well, listen, I have told y'all before. Until they get rid of that Roman Banks guy,
I don't think
you will not get to the core of the problem. See, I keep telling y'all, you can get rid of these coaches, but these ADs need to go too. And I gave you the name. That guy up at North Carolina, A&T Hilton, needs to be shown the door. The guy at Grambling, Scott, needs to be shown the door. Roman Banks needs to be shown the door.
That's who really needs to be shown the door, Mr. Ford. That dang old Travion Scott.
Yeah, they need to go. Don't forget that Hilton at North. That Hilton man destroyed the top at one time the top black football program in the nation. He destroyed North Carolina A&T.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Travion Scott, Dr. Travion Scott for Grambling needs to go because ain't
He's
no
made a lot
way
of people mad.
he made a lot of people mad because
Yeah.
a lot of people, understandably so, is we are still in this microwave success of what we saw with Dion. Everybody's trying to copy
the firing of Hugh is probably one of the worst probably in the last 3 years as far as firing coaches. And then to top that off, the fact that they're even discussing Ed Reed take over the program. I thought it was John Simon.
He's an interim head coach.
He's an interim head coach.
He's interim
and
head
that's
coach.
Another thing. Why would a recruit come to Grambling with an interim head coach because of the rules that have changed with why would a player that's going to mess up recruiting if you say, oh, I'm an interim head coach, so that means there's a possibility you're not going to be there next year either.
It's the same thing what happened at Southern when
you're going to mess up your recruiting
with Dawson Odoms when he left Southern to go to Norfolk State, they named Jason Rollins the interim head coach.
I know Jason. He went to
Blue said they reached out to Jerry Mack to see what the price tag would be.
He's making too much money. Jerry Mack is making too much money. Jerry Mack is not going to give up $1 million salary to come to the SWAC. We can forget that.
The head coach of Coahoma Community College.
Who?
He's an NFL vet, and he's actually got head coaching experience in O-line.
What's his name?
Let me get it. I just seen because that's kind of like our pipeline. So, but he
you got a lot of but
Terrence Metcalf.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, from Texas.
He's been the coach at.
He's played for the Cleveland Browns.
He was announced.
We're not talking about Eric Metcalf, right?
22.
That's Eric
offensive lineman for Ole Miss.
Oh man, no, that's DK Metcalf's daddy right there.
Oh, okay, okay.
DK Metcalf.
Okay. Anyway, so why can't he be a coach?
I mean, I think he could be a coach.
Yeah,
I never thought he was. I didn't know he was coaching. Because like when he finished playing for the Bears, I didn't hear nothing. I didn't hear anything about it until
he just started in 2022.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when he finished playing football in the NFL, like you really didn't hear too much anything about Terrence Metcalf. The only thing you really heard about Terrence Metcalf is because DK is his son, who played for the Seahawks. Yeah. But the only reason why they're doing the interim is to basically put it to where you keep some sort of stability when it comes to your recruiting, and it's not because they're gonna, it's not because it's gonna hurt recruiting. It keeps some sort of stability. Like John Simon is a good recruiter.
Yeah, he's from Baton Rouge.
Yeah, he's a good recruiter. So he can go out there recruit North Louisiana, South Louisiana, East Texas, parts of Mississippi, Arkansas, because that's going to be your footprint. That's your stronghold right there.
And Southern University campus at Southern University Laboratory High School. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you keep it that way until when you do decide to bring in your permanent head coach. You have your recruits there, and they're gonna be there. They'll sign, and you just go with what you have to do, But I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, the Grambling firing Hugh Jackson was the worst firing that we have seen in the last couple of years. Because
I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, and you got to understand, the man was making progress. Because
I thought he was fire a coach and then he can keep his job.
Let me reiterate this. Let me say this again. You cannot put together two terrible You can't put together two terrible Bayou Classics and think you're gonna survive in Grambling. It's not gonna happen.
But
the first year he gave away the game to Dooley and them in the first year he was there. He dominated the game for three quarters. They gave up the game. Then this year, the Southern's program was in total disarray. Terrence Graves comes in, puts together a winning game plan in 2 weeks, and then y'all think he gonna survive at Grambling? It ain't happening, man. That's y'all don't know Grambling.
But what I'm saying is maybe sometimes, and I understand Mr. Ford, I understand everybody's looking at that.
I know that Grambling coach really well.
Yeah, they're looking at the prestige of what they had when they had Eddie Robinson as the head coach.
Without a doubt.
But
and just like look at Arnett Moffat, that 62, and that thing is going on. They fired so many coaches because they want to be like Moffat. Pete Richardson
like Champ Moffat. That's right, like Ace Moffat.
Or even if you let's say FAMU,
Jay Gaither.
Your best coach was Jay Gaither. Jay Gaither was the man at FAMU. Then
they were the powerhouse of Florida.
They went through 3 before they got Rudy Hubbard. After Rudy Hubbard, they got Ken Riley. Then in the 90s, they brought in Billy Joe, who was ultra successful down at FAMU. And then after they got rid of Billy Joe, they went through some stuff, what they call some zeros. They had Reuben Carter. They had Joe Taylor. They had Earl Holmes. And then they had Alex Woods. And the guy who put them back on the right track was Willie Simmons. He put them back on the championship track.
So maybe we need to, it's just like with Jackson State. We always try to look for another W.C. Gordon. We try to look for a big John Merritt. We try to look for a Big Daddy Carson. We can't do stuff like that. We always gonna have the prestige. If you was a school that win championships, you're always gonna have that prestige behind you. But sometimes it's time to make your own. It's time for us to make a new regime, a new prestige. But like I said, my whole thing is 2 years was not enough, because you got to understand, they were 3-8 in 22 when he took that job. They were 3-8. All right, everybody was fussing because he really didn't have a stable quarterback. His defense was middle of the pack. The only thing that kept them afloat was the running game. And then you think about this season. I mean, of course, go 5-6. They should have won the game. They should have won the game on for the Bayou Classic. I must say that they should have won the game because Southern should not even been in the game. But he was still making strides. He was still bringing in money from Urban Edge Network. He was still getting kids to come into the school. He was signing kids. I feel like he would have addressed the defense if you do it. Let him do it himself. Let him talk to Cedric Thornton. Yeah, let him talk to Cedric Thornton and say, "Hey,
but Doc, let me say this. Every time he was in a big game, the team looked unprepared. That's not Grambling culture. One thing Coach Robinson did, if you messed up on one play, he'd make you run that play 100 times. That went on for 40 years. And I'm telling you, one of the things that got on everybody's nerves, including mine, was every time they was in a big game, them teams look unprepared under Hugh Jackson. But they always look underprepared, uncoached, and they underachieved. Well, and so I don't know why y'all thought that them people was gonna keep him at Grambling.
But you know what, y'all? I'm gonna say this. I kind of agree with Mr. Ford, because I think that he's he's the most nicest coach. Nice. He has a personality. He's personable, but I don't think that he should be the coach at Grambling. I think he's a nice man and he brought money there and everything. But, Grambling wants to be at the top of the heap. And
Thank you.
And I don't think that, he's a nice guy. I listen to him speak and his thing. I like him. But for him to be The head coach of that team, I'm, you know how sometimes people put you in a job and you're not really suited for that, and then you're a nice person, but you're not really suited for that. And I don't think that he was really suited to be the head coach at Grambling. I mean, they want to be on the top of the heap, and I don't blame them. They have history and everything, and they just need somebody that is going to be more cutting edge, more I mean, you know, just got it together in regards to making sure that when it comes down to the value class of any game that you should win that year, it needs to be that one. And
right.
I don't think that he had that killer mentality, but he's a nice guy. I mean, I like him, but for him to be the head coach there, nah.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Do you think he might end up at the Nick Saban Coaches Rehabilitation Center at the Malmore Center at the University of Alabama? You know, like many of these coaches.
He's not in that clique. He's not in that clique.
I had to throw that one out there, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, the guy. Listen, the name that would fit Grambling would be that Mickey Joseph. He knows the state of Louisiana. He's been on the top. You know, he was at Nebraska, been at LSU, all the place. He would be the person for Grambling. Yes, would be Mickey Joseph.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll keep it real. If that was the case, why the hell did Travion Scott hire Hugh Jackson in the first place?
They was copying Jackson State. Jackson State made the splash, and they were copying them.
That wasn't gonna be no splash. That was just a little. That's just a little drop in the pool right there. That was not a splash.
What I'm saying, he okay, you go out and get Deion Sanders, okay, NFL Hall of Famer, celebrity. So Grambling called themselves getting a person with a name. You go and get Hugh Jackson. That's what that was all about.
What they were, Eddie George being at Tennessee State.
Yeah. It was basically a celebrity hire.
But he was bringing money into the program.
Yeah, but the team didn't look good.
No, they didn't look.
See, y'all got to understand. Listen, Grambling is basically a village. If it had not been for Eddie Robinson, it would just be a school out there in Lincoln Parish. Okay? Eddie Robinson made that school world famous. How did he do it? Through the football program. Yeah. Listen, that attitude is still there at Grambling.
Yeah.
It's still there.
I was at the 1985.
There's a reason why they call Grambling the Black Notre Dame. If it had not been for Nuke Rockney, nobody would know nothing about Notre Dame. They were the only thing they'd be known for is a good science department. But nobody know nothing about Notre Dame. That school was built through football. Grambling was the same way. Grambling became world famous because of Eddie Robinson and his football program.
So I'm gonna get on to it because we're gonna talk about the portal and the kids are jumping in. I just think sometimes the program started going down a little bit after the Celebration Bowl, after all that talent, after all the talent left out. We talk about Kincaid. We talking about Martez Carter. You talking about you talk about all those guys right there. You saw the program start going down from there after that championship team, and then what you do is you go and fire Roger Favre, which I feel like you shouldn't never did in the first place, but he's now the interim head coach over at Louisiana Monroe.
Yes, he is. So
he kind of got into a better situation. Now, what you do is bring in Hugh Jackson. You try to restore the roar with the Grambling Tigers over there. And what it is like you still have to be patient because, like I know you said, Mr. Ford, everybody will try. Everybody is copying the Deion model.
Yeah.
You can't sit here and try to copy the same model if it's not going to work for you. Deion, the reason why his model worked is because his name run bells. His name was always going to ring bells. That's the reason why kids went to flock to from places like California and Florida and all these other places, St. Louis and stuff like that, to South Carolina. Yeah, to come into the program. You can't, like, teams, you can't replicate that. Like, I feel like the way Eddie George did the program this season, even though I hate the fact that he did lose the last 3 games of the year, he built it. I mean, yes, he built it through the transfer portal, but he also built it through JUCO. He also built it through the high school ranks. So I just feel like he took his time to try to get everything the way he wanted to get there. Now he's going into year 4. He has to get something done in year 4 now, because now it's put up a shut up time now. Because year 4 is the year you supposed to, your program is supposed to be it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look at Florida State. It takes time. Yeah. And so that's why I said Grambling. I mean, you guys are handing out Power 5 deals with these black coaches, and that's not fair. Regardless of your history, regardless of the storied past, you guys are handing out deals that if the NFL or the FBS or a white institution gives a black head coach basically a year and a half and a small change to turn a program around, you'll be crying foul. That's my thing. Regardless of saying he wasn't ready or he wasn't making enough strides or he lost important games, a 3-year minimum. Because if it's anybody else that's not an HBCU, you would cry foul. So how are we holding black coaches who are having to deal with more than just players and transfer portal? They're having to deal with more than just that. They have to be recruiting to places, of course, we know with HBCUs that have less funds to invest in students as far as NIL deals. You have the transfer portal. So how are you guys placing these types of standards on black coaches? And if we do that at the higher levels, we're crying foul about it. Well, that's my issue.
Yeah, it's just still, my whole thing is give them 3 years, because you still got kids on that. You still had kids in there from the 5s era. You had to cycle those kids out. You trying to leave your footprint on the program that you're trying to build. Like, we can't, it won't be fair to say, to tell Willie, hey, I want you to do the program like Jay Gates did back in the day. Willie ain't gonna do that.
It's a big difference.
Willie is not gonna do that. Willie's gonna have.
Have you ever been to the 220 Club? Have you? No. I'm saying, okay, because they on YouTube. Have you ever actually sat in the 220 Club with them old rappers and hear some of the stuff?
I have.
Yeah, that's what they be talking about. That's exactly what they be saying. And Willie just laugh it off. That's exactly.
Listen, they was mad with Willie for playing Musa this year. They wanted him to bench Musa.
That's exactly what they be saying. Every week he got to go over there and listen to that, and they hand him a check every time. But that's exactly, because they be telling me, yeah, when Coach Gaither was here, man, Coach Gaither been gone, and that's exactly what they be saying. That's exactly what they be saying.
And it's the same thing. Like, hey, Eddie not here no more. Last game Eddie coached was the Bayou Classic in 1997.
But you know what? Yeah. They hand him that check every week. They hand him that check every week, and he go over there and listen to that. When Jay Gates was here,
Coach Davis passed away in 1994.
Yeah, that's right. He died in 19. I think he was in his 90s when he died.
Yeah, so you know they still there with Jake Gaither. So we just have to go ahead and temper that with other stuff and kind of bring him on along. You know, because
you can take something from like an Eddie Robinson era or a Jay Gaither era and then mold it and put your spin on it the same way. I like what at Bama State what Eddie Robinson Jr. is doing because remember he played under Houston Markham. So I like what he's doing. He's taking some stuff that he learned from Markham plus some of the stuff that he learned from the NFL. And he's molding it into his, into his own thing. And that's the reason why you can't sit there and frustrate him because the man that had 2 winning seasons.
Yeah.
He had 2 winning seasons.
Well, I was at FAMU when Rudy Hubbard was the coach. And I was at FAMU at that time, and we had just came off a national championship, the first Black college to do that. So I was at, and I'm telling you, even with Rudy Hubbard being there, that's just how alumni are. We have a strong alumni association back in the day in Jacksonville, Mr. Ford.
Yeah.
And if Rudy didn't produce, they was calling for his head. And I just
same thing in Jackson State with Coach Gordon. If Gordon lost the game, they would be calling for his head.
Yeah, and I just think, like I said, you gotta have thick skin, and even Willie talks about that. When you are a coach at these HBCUs, I mean, you usually have thick skin because I'm telling you, it's like like they did Jesus, and we not Jesus now. They call Hosanna one weekend, and the next weekend is crucifying. And that's what they do with these HBCU programs. Because Rudy Hubbard, I mean, think about it. He won the national championship. And I remember I was on work study at the time, and I was working in the post office, my little work study job before I went to my biology classes. And those FAMU Jacksonville alumni will come through there talking about, Rudy, he got to go. Because he wasn't doing what they wanted, and I just think that's just the nature of the game. But listen, you all have I didn't mean to say this long, but y'all have a good night, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of log off and let y'all to it. And like I said, David, thank you for coming. We had a great time, and I hope you enjoyed the food, and hope to see you again soon.
But Dr. Lord, before you go, y'all gonna bring 60,000 to Atlanta?
Yeah, man. That's what we plan on doing.
This is some media, guys.
We plan on how you say
you got everything, Chuck.
That's some media, guys.
We got and it's gonna be a lot of orange and green because I heard, now I'm not sure. I heard that Howard don't really travel like that.
They don't. Nobody in the MEAC travels.
So anyway, so it's gonna
be a home game for Florida A&M.
Don't tell that to some of them Howard Bison because they say
now what the Howard people gonna do is they're gonna bring all their little movie stars. You know, that boy from Jumping the Broom and Taraji Henson probably come. The Debbie Allen and Felicia Rashad, all that crew will come.
But you know what?
They're gonna bring the movie stars.
I have a lot of colleagues that practice in Atlanta, and they went to other HBCUs. So, I invited them, and I think this you're going to see a lot of other HBCUs. One of my girls, she went to Tougaloo. Her and her husband owned a practice, and he went to Grambling, and I've already invited them, so they're going to be at the game. So I think we're going to have a lot of other HBCUs there as well. And so, hey, it's going to be a party. So, I'm glad we're finally making it back to Atlanta because she even asked, she said, man, when the last time FAMU hit Atlanta? She said, girl, we're so excited up here. And she's like, are y'all going to have a parade or what? I said, I don't know what the deal is, but I know that a lot of Black people in Atlanta are really excited that FAMU is coming to town.
That's great to hear.
And don't forget now, these people in Atlanta love the 100.
Yeah.
They love to see that band. Ain't nothing like when that band comes to Atlanta.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. So I was like, I don't know all the details, but I know she said we're gonna be there. So fam, you come to town. She said, honey, we will be there. I said, okay. So I invited them. So yeah, so I have my little entourage, and it's gonna be different HBCUs joining me. So I'm happy about that part. So y'all have a good night.
All right,
Okay.
Dr. Laura.
Good to hear from you.
Okay.
So let's see. We got I think somebody got an echo. Now, what you talking about in the chat, Simona?
What you mean?
With the AD for Grambling.
Oh, they need to fire him.
Right.
Folks you guys keep on talking about a winning program, but it's more measurables than just a winning program. And one of the big ones is the ability to have NIL deals. Those are very important. The ability to bring money in, very important. So it looks like part of him being fired was also a power struggle because he no longer had the protection of the president any longer.
Yeah, because he's gonna be University of Louisiana assistant president, Richard Gallo, and they're gonna be looking for another president at Grambling as well.
So basically, if Gallo was still there, then Hugh would have been able to probably
Grambling, right? I won it 1 year.
You wanted what?
I won the Black History Contest at Grambling.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. And his mama she gave me a crisp $100 bill. That was Dr. Gallo. I mean, he's Attorney Gallo. That was his mother. His mother was Dr. Gallo.
Mildred Gallo, Dr. Mildred Gallo.
She was head of the social science department. She was a tall, real light-skinned lady.
Yeah. And his father was a barber. He was mayor of Grambling too. Mr. Gallo.
Yeah. When I was at Grambling, the one that's the attorney, the president, he was pledging KSI.
Yeah, playing the marching band.
That's right. Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. Were you there with Leonard Griffin?
Yeah, Leonard Griffin was a defensive end, went to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, he had
a sister played on the basketball team, I think.
I know Illinois. He played at Tech. They both 6'5". He
played with that boy from Bogalusa. It was, you remember, his two brothers. One they called Big Bird, and the other one they called Sean.
Yeah, Sean and Robert Smith. Yeah, Robert Smith.
That's right. Yeah. They, a bunch of them guys went pro off that team. That was the team that. Now Sean was on the team when Eddie Robinson broke Bear Bryant's record.
I was at that game when they beat Prairie View.
They had 68,000 at that game. I was there too.
They went with my parents. Yeah, in '85.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Cotton Bowl.
At the Cotton
Bowl. That's the first time I saw Joe Green. He was there. Doug Williams was there. Willie Davis was there. All kind of people were there.
Yeah.
Ahmad Rashad was there.
I saw Ahmad Rashad.
Yeah, he was there.
Charlie Wilson sung the national anthem.
Yep, that's right. Charlie Wilson was, and he was high as a kite.
Oh, sure was. That's during the Gap Band days. Yeah. Yeah,
Gap Band. That's right.
Yeah.
We first time I visited SMU, we went over to SMU. We stayed. I'm trying to think. What was that? Was it? Oh, I can't think of the place where we stayed. I don't know. Was it the Gallery? No. The Galleria is in Houston, right?
No, we got one in Dallas. That's where I was working at before.
Okay, I think that's where we stayed because they had the Grambling headquarters was there.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, I'm gonna let you go because you got
to go. All right, it's great conversing with you all. I enjoyed this conversation. You all take care.
Man. You too.
Okay. I'm glad you had a great and safe trip to Tallahassee and back. Take care.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
I know one thing, that drive was long. That drive was long, but you know what though? It was worth it. It was worth it. Me and my mom, we got to go down to Florida. She ain't never been to Tallahassee. I've been twice, but I ain't never been on campus like that at FAMU all the way through. But she had a good time though. She yeah, but other than that, man, we it was one of them things where I think I would go back down there to experience it a little bit more without the, you know what I'm saying, without the rain.
Absolutely,
yeah, you should. Hey,
definitely without the rain.
Yeah, and ain't nothing like a FAMU homecoming now. I'm telling you.
Because baby, it was. I sound like my mama, baby. It was raining hard. It wasn't raining hard, but it was just one of them rains where it's like, damn, is it gonna stop? You know, that was the type of rain it was. So let's get into these kids with the transfer portal, y'all. So we already talked about Keyshawn Johnson jumped in the portal. He got offered by FAMU, got offered by Jackson State. He got pretty much offered by every HBCU. And
yes,
I think
he did.
Some G5 offers also. And I hope this is the best decision that he made right here. So we always talk about. We was talking about this last time, and I just want to get more fully into it. It is over 4,000 kids in the portal as of today. It's a lot. It's a lot of movement. It is a lot of movement. You know, because everybody's gonna be. It's not poaching or nothing like that. This is the name of the game now. It's the name of the game.
It gives us access to kids in the past were untouchable for us. That's why I like the transfer portal, because we can go after kids who had maybe 20 or 30 years ago wouldn't have looked a black college way. Now we have access to them.
They're getting ready to try to fix it with this NIL law that they're trying to pass. So they're trying to fix it. Whenever they went to the legislators and said, let's figure out a way about this NIL, and then they released the information that the SEC wanted to exclude HBCUs. We're not talking about FCS. They didn't say FCS schools. They said HBCUs.
Right.
So they're going to fix the transfer portal. And I think one of the ways they're going to do that is obviously by introducing the legislation where they're basically splitting conferences so that I guess they get a base pay of $30,000. Which, if you, in the grand scheme of things, if you're a student athlete and you're a student, $30,000 is a lot of money. But going from school to school, trying to find which school is best for you and continuously entering in the transfer portal, to a lot of coaches, they might not pull the trigger if it's your third go round in the transfer portal and you don't have production at either of the schools that you've been at. If it's your third go around, they're going to want to know, like, why are you not producing?
My whole thing is, if you a player and the only film you got is practice. And I know some coaches gonna look, they're gonna look at practice, but you ain't got no game field. You ain't even really got no practice field. Why are you in the portal? I'm gonna be like what my mama used to tell me back in the day. Sit your black ass down somewhere.
Well, I mean, some of them are getting their scholarships reduced. If you're not producing, then you need to be on half a scholarship or a fourth of a scholarship, because I need to make room for somebody else. But then what's interesting is Evan Stewart, who sent out a tweet and basically said, I haven't gotten whatever money was promised to him, that he hasn't even gotten it. And that was from Texas A&M. So it makes me question if the amount of NIL that these schools are touting, are those numbers actually real? Evan Stewart said he hasn't gotten a dime from whatever they were promising him.
Was that the kid from Opelika, Florida?
No, Evan Stewart is from he went to it's in Dallas. I think I forgot what school he went to, but it's
okay.
Yeah. At one point in time, Crown was trying to get him to flip to go to Jackson State. But it's still, it's still the name of the game. Like, the name of the game. So,
and I don't know if they're signing contracts that have like, are they See, this is the tricky thing about the NIL. Somebody put in the comments that Jimbo withheld the money because he didn't produce. So that means you're kind of like almost like doing an employee type of contract where it's an incentive. If you're not producing, you don't get the money, or if you're not meeting your goals, you're not getting the money. I'm pretty sure that students could possibly take them to court for that. Because now there's an argument or a case to be made that you're treating a student as an employee. I think that's why. Because he said he didn't get his money. Maybe he didn't. I mean, if someone tells you, hey, we're going to give you $100,000 to come to our school, and that's what they tell you, and then when you get there, they're like, well, you're not doing this, so we're not going to give it to you. Can you hold them to that first standard of, you guys said you were going to give me $100,000 for committing because I'm a 4-star or 5-star, I need my money. Because I'm basically, outside of after high school, those stars don't, well, sometimes they drop, but the stars is what gets Texas A&M over the hump. So the reason why they were number one in recruiting is because of these 4 and 5 stars going there.
Yeah. So, it to me, like, we seen, with Jackson State, it's good that you don't see a lot of it. I know it's kids that's going into the portal, but it's not as what we saw last season.
You talking about from HBCUs?
Well, just I was saying for like Jackson State case, like what we saw last season when Deion, when he left to go to Colorado, and we seen that whole, like, almost a whole mass exodus of players leave and, jump in. You don't see it now. We're not seeing it now. You still, we got a couple of players here and there, but it's not like what we saw with like 40 or 50 players.
Do we see any players that had really good production? So if you look at their stats and you go down the stat line that has really good production that you'll say, man, I'm going to miss that player.
Keyshawn Johnson.
Oh my God.
From Prairie View?
No, Keyshawn.
Alabama State.
Alabama State, the receiver. You talk about the linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Bama State gonna miss that production right there, and it's not to say like with players like Corey Merritt going to New Mexico, he went over there and balled out. Ershad Davis won the Sun Belt Conference with Troy. You got some other players that left Alabama State that kind of succeeded to in what they was doing. But then you got players that went into the portal like a Kevin Coleman that really you saw flashes of him, but you really didn't see the true, his true self breakout at Louisville.
He had a good game against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, he did.
He had a good game against Tech.
Yeah, he did. But
says he has a one receiving touchdown. His longest reception was 58 yards, reception yards 66, rushing yards 21. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. I mean, he's still young. When you go to the Power 5, usually the freshmen and sophomores, you guys are usually bulking up and training and learning the schemes. And the difference is like a Travis Hunter and a Kevin Coleman. If you're in Alabama, you're not necessarily starting day one.
Yeah, they got a new coach at Louisville this year.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in the plans bigger next year.
And that's interesting because, well, I'm glad they're gonna keep that. He's deciding to stay, but like a couple of our players that went into the portal, they now have new coaches. Like San Diego State, I want to say they have a new coach coming in.
They got the guy that was Prime's offense coordinator.
Right, but Tavion Beasley went to San Diego State. That's where he transferred to. I want to say San Diego.
Wait a minute. So you saying Sean Lewis?
Sean Lewis got the job at San Diego State.
See, this is what
Sean Lewis.
This is what I'm about to say. This is what I'm about to say, y'all. Hear me out. Sean Lewis, you should have never left Kent State. You shouldn't have left them. You should have stayed at Kent State. You was the head man in charge at Kent State. Because what you did was you hustled backwards when you went over to Colorado to become the offensive coordinator. Now, granted, you did get your job. You got a new. You're the head coach over at San Diego State now. Congratulations. But you hustled backwards when you became the offensive coordinator at Colorado, and then you got demoted for an NFL has been head coach, offensive coordinator in Pat Sherman. When at least when he was the offense, at least when Sean Lewis was the offensive coordinator for Colorado, you seen some explosive plays as far as with the passing. Now the running, they had so much work to do on with rushing the football. But as far as the passing, you seen Shador go for 300, 400, 500 yards in a game, 5, 6 touchdowns in the game. And then you got demoted. He got
demoted because of the offensive line, but I mean,
but that's not. And that's not his fault though. That's on. I'm gonna tell you, it's two people's fault for that.
I think he just kind of everything that Dion did in Jackson State. Like, and when I say literally everything, I mean literally he mimics.
It's the copy.
He mimics the things that he does. He mimics it in Jackson State, but you have to understand the stuff that you did in Jackson State, your audience and when you're doing it, like the way that he talks to the players, how he motivates them, like that stuff doesn't translate to a environment where that's not needed.
Right.
Like, so in the HBCU realm, it's thank you for talking to our men. Our young men need to hear that. That's the type of speeches that we need. In Colorado, they're like, why are you talking like that? We don't want to hear that. Put that on away.
Now, so this is what I'm saying. So it's two people's fault that your offensive line was terrible. First of all, it's Dion's fault. You the head coach. You know what I'm saying? You the head coach. And then it's the offensive line coach fault. Dion is your fault because you ain't recruiting enough offensive line. It's the offensive line, it's the O-line coach fault is because you put that terrible product out there on the field.
But didn't he go through offensive line problems at Jackson State?
Yeah,
his first year he did. That offensive line was terrible his first year.
But he was like, we can't compete because we don't have the trenches. And then you go all the way to Power 5 and you still don't correct the trenches? I don't know. I feel like he's the stuff that he's doing, just like they talked about how black people worship celebrity. Like white folks don't care nothing about that celebrity to a certain extent if they're making their money. But like at the Power 5 level, they're looking for real coaches, not an Ed Reed because he's Ed Reed, let's give him the job. They want you to win.
Right.
And so the names that he's pulling, I'm wondering, who is it that you're trying to attract by hiring that type of coach? Like Warren Sapp, for instance. Like these big defensive line and the big offensive line that they're looking for, there are defensive coordinators and O-line coaches that are known in Power 5 circles. And whoever these prospects are, they know who these coaches are because they know that they train and they coach the best players. Mm-hmm. So Deion is not tapping into that circle, and I think that he's kind of like hurt himself in being able to even approach these types of coaches because of the way that he dumped everything out. So now it's like, if I'm a coach, I don't want to go over there.
Yeah, he's an interloper. He didn't pay any dues. No, they don't want nothing to do with him. And on top of that, the national media hates him.
And they don't care about that money.
Yeah.
Like for him, you guys are going to elevate and you're going to elevate with me. Lord, I ain't even going to say nothing about what they talking about in the chat.
I already see it. I already see it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all leave that man alone, man. Leave me alone. Let him live. Let that man live. Let him go up to Siberia, America.
Bruh, no, Warren Sapp. Ooh, they said Warren Sapp ain't even got a degree. Lord.
If it wasn't for Jackson State, Deion wouldn't have one.
So I'm sure that Deion, being Deion, he's gonna go get in Talladega's inbox, and we'll see Warren Sapp graduating from HBCU.
Yeah,
they don't have no problem.
Warren Sapp left after his junior year. So Warren Sapp left after his junior year to go into the draft from Miami.
I'm sure he can get a degree from Talladega in a semester.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
That's the reason why Ed Reed he can become a head coach, because he spent his whole 5 years at Miami. So
no, Ed Reed can't be a coach because he has anger issues.
Well, you talk about anger issues,
and I don't even want to.
If you want to talk about anger issues, I do a coach that had real anger issues. God rest his soul. He just passed away this year too, Mr. Ford.
Who was that?
Bobby Knight.
Oh, yeah. Bobby Knight was awful, man.
He was awful, but
he was awful.
He was awful. He had anger
All
issues,
you got to do is read that book called "Season on the Brink" by John Feinstein. Yeah. He was awful.
He was awful, but God, he can
that commit.
He was he can get kids to play. He was a winner. That's all I can say. But he had anger issues too. So he ain't the first one, and he will not be the last. I'll be honest. I'll be real with y'all. But like I said, Sean Lewis, good that you hustle back up and got you a head coaching job, because you in charge now and you can go out there and compete in the Mountain West. I just felt like you should not have took that. You should not have took the OC job at Colorado instead of, you should have stayed at Kent State. Because then if you would have stayed at Kent State probably would not have been 1-10 this season. And with the San Diego State job opening, you would have got that job better than what you got it, how the way you got it from Colorado. So it you know, it's crazy. It's that's a funny thing to see. You know, then you got players that ain't played a lick down of football that's in the transfer portal. Somebody, you know, I'm gonna put his name out there. I don't care if he say anything or not. I don't care. Amari Ward, yeah, you, sir. I ain't see you play now.
Whoa. Let me get out.
Football.
Y'all have a good night. I am not about to talk about that young man. I don't know.
You ain't got to talk about it. You can stay on mute. You ain't played not a lick of football. You ain't played not one down. You ain't practiced. You ain't did nothing. But you want to go to Colorado. Okay, go right ahead. It still ain't gonna fix your offensive line problems up there. Other than that, got a kid like Tristan Sion, and I understood the reason why he is in the portal because he wants to be closer to his mother, who was diagnosed with cancer, and she beat it, and he wants to make sure that she stayed, you know, she's cool. I understand that. But players that ain't got now one lick of film don't need to hop their ass in the portal. Stay your ass where you need to be at. You know what I'm saying? Learn something. Like, Quincy Casey going into the portal. What you going into the portal for? I understand that you graduated. He graduated. That's the reason why. I'm letting them breathe. Y'all. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. Look, I ain't seen that you put now one finger in the dirt in a 3-point stance or nothing. I ain't seen you grab a hold of a jersey or nothing. I'm being real. I'm just saying, y'all. Look, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. But and I understand some of these players ain't got no choice. But dang. Let me put the pads on, put the field together, and see if I can get a scholarship to a Power 5 school. Oh Lord. Let me go and put my resume in at Grambling so I can be the head coach. Shoot, let me be the person to fire Travion Scott. Now that's what messed up y'all program right there, Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford, can you hear me? Uh-oh. I think Mr. Ford went into the portal, y'all. I think Mr. Ford went into the portal. After careful consideration and talking to my investors, and to my parents, I, Doc Holliday, am entering the podcast portal. Oh Lord, I can do this shit all day, y'all. Oh yeah, Tracy went into the portal too. She done touched the deuces. She done touched the deuce on that man. Hold on now. 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 Hold on now, Uncle JB Smooth Jr. I'm not hitting the transfer portal to support FAMU. You will not see me. I will not do that. No. Hell no. You will not see me do that. I had entered the podcast portal. Hey, everybody else doing it. I might well go and come up with a fire-ass graphic and put all my little notes in there. You know what I'm saying? And just tell people I'm entering the podcast portal. Oh man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's time for some of these ADs to hit the damn transfer portal. Transfer your ass to the unemployment line. Mr. Jones, early prediction on the Celebration Bowl. I am going to be doing that. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow. What am I gonna do tomorrow? I'm not gonna do it tomorrow. It's probably gonna be probably gonna be sometime this week. I don't know yet. Cause remember, we still got another bowl game for HBCU. It's the Florida Beach Bowl. Johnson C. Smith, Fort Valley State, December the 13th. So make sure y'all check that out. I think that's going to be on HBCU Plus right there. First of all, look. I'm gonna be real with you. Let me rap with you. Come on up here. Come on up here. Let me rap with you. Let me rap with you. So the FAMU welcome wagon was great. It was great. Yes, it was great. Even though, like I said, it was raining. It was great. Uh, um, it was great. Y'all did y'all thing. Yeah, that I guess that must be my podcast NIL deal right there. My HBCU podcast NIL deal. You know what I'm saying? I need some funding. If y'all gonna put me on the NIL deal, I need some funding. Gotta put some on it. So So let's get some stuff rolling. Let's get some stuff rolling, man. Look, it's 82 people up in here. We had close to over 100 people on this live. Man, make sure y'all like the stream, man. I ain't even got that, y'all. I ain't even said nothing like that. Said, make sure y'all like the stream. Make sure y'all comment, share, subscribe to the channel. We getting up there, y'all. We are getting up there. We are inching our way to 2,000 subscribers. I know it's taking a while to do that, but we getting our way up there. What? Why y'all gonna do me like that, man? Look, Bragg. Let me tell y'all something about Bragg Stadium. Let me tell you something about Bragg Stadium. Mom, I ain't trying to be funny. My mom was like, she said, son, this is a stadium right here? I said, yeah, this is Bragg Stadium. She's like, damn, it look like a damn high school stadium. I was like, Ma, this stadium old. She's like, son, we got stadium, we got stadiums in the hood that look better than this. I was like, you know what, Mama, I can't take you nowhere no more now. Those they did not flip me to be a rattler. We just went down there for the experience, and I could do a job. My mom, she said, we got stadiums in the hood that look better than Bragg. I was like, Mom. I'm like, Mom, why are you talking about this? Why are you blaming the stadium, man? It is what it is. That's what they got. But if it wasn't raining, I think all 23,000 would have been up in there. We probably would have more on the sidelines. Again, but some more shout out to Coach Thornton again for Pine Bluff women's basketball going on the road. They was here in Dallas yesterday, and they knocked off the SMU Lady Mustangs 78-76. Man, I wish I would have known they was here. I would have went to that game right there. But shout out to Coach Thornton. Man, she ain't playing, y'all. She is not playing with these folks. Hey, Chuck, my mom, she not comical. She just be saying stuff and it just be off the wall. Man, Coach Thornton is getting them girls balling, y'all. Zay Green is out there balling, y'all. Shout out to her. Congratulations to her, man. Shout out to Southern University knocking off UNLV this past weekend. Them folks at the Power 5, the major levels and the mid majors, they going the majors, they gonna stop trying to put us on the schedule. They gonna stop trying to put us on the schedule, y'all. But yeah, man, shout out to them for doing that. Shout out to PV for making the SWAC championship game, even though it did not go in the way that they wanted to go. They represented Texas well. It's safe to unmute. I ain't saying nothing about that boy no more. Yep, Alabama A&M beat Tennessee State last week, 85-83 in overtime. Let's see, Jackson State men won't play again until the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. In men's action, Liberty beats Mississippi Valley 74-39, and number 7 Gonzaga takes on Arkansas Pine Bluff. They took on Arkansas Pine Bluff earlier today, beat them 111-71, beat them by 40. EA that we need to see about that. We need to see about that. I really want to know when they play. Tomorrow, Pine Bluff women is playing North Texas at 11 a.m. That game going to be on ESPN Plus. So make sure y'all check that out tomorrow. All right. Let's see. North Texas is 7-1 right now. Hey, they might be able to pull this one off. Pine Bluff they play Jackson State one time this season, and it is in March the 7th. Yeah. Oh yeah, shout out to my guy shout out to bro Merch Pack. He did tell me, man, he got some stuff coming in, should be in this week. I appreciate you, my guy. And for everybody that made sure that I was me and my mom was good down in Tallahassee, man, I appreciate everybody for doing that. Y'all didn't have to go out your way to do that, but I understand that that's what we call Southern hospitality. I'm just saying some people don't know that, but I mean, I ain't gonna hold nobody, I ain't gonna hold against nobody. But yeah, I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate the good doctor for my money for the rental car. I appreciate Mr. Campbell for the game tickets, and I appreciate Dr. Lord for paying for the Airbnb and being and helping me continue to be the very very best at what I do. Am I perfect at it? Not the least, but can I improve? Yes, I can. Do I have potential? Yes, I do. Do I have the grind? Yes, I do. Do I have the determination? Yes, I do. Do I have the passion? Yes, I do. Ooh, West Georgia. I ain't gonna disown y'all, man. Shoot, y'all family, shoot. Y'all family. Until y'all get on my nerves. But other than that, man, y'all family. So and let's see. DeSantis needs to sit his ass down somewhere. Talking about he want to sue the NCAA because Florida State didn't get into the college football playoff. Boy, you need to sit your ass down somewhere. Hmm. See what else we got. What else we got right now? Well, y'all just ain't gonna let every live the day down. Yeah, yeah. Other than that, man, look, appreciate everybody jumping on tonight. Appreciate panel coming on tonight as always. You know how we always do it. Make sure if you want to, like I said, we always still taking donations. You know what I'm saying? You can do it through the super chat. You can do it through Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. So we continue to bring out good shows, great shows like this, and so forth. So my next thing that I'm looking at is lenses for the camera. Got to look at some lenses. So I'm gonna be on the hunt looking at lenses. Yeah, that dude just needs to sit his ass down somewhere. Oh my goodness. But yeah, as always, man, we about to roll up out of here. I'll probably be back on Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday for another round of HBCU tonight. Tomorrow night, check us out on HBCU Nightly on Twitter. We will have the legendary Buddy Pugh as our guest on the show tomorrow night. And that's only going to be on Twitter. If not, I think you also check it out on HBCU Nightly on YouTube. So we'll have Buddy Pugh as our guest for tomorrow. Other than that, man, make sure y'all patronize the channel. Make sure y'all hit up the donation box. Make sure y'all patronize all HBCU content creators that's doing the damn thing out there, no matter what you are. Man, I don't know. I just love being, I just love my HBCU. That's all I got to say about that. But as always, man, this has been HBCU Tonight, brought to you by HBCU Overdrive, powered by WeWorkForEverything.org. Make sure if it's cold outside, sound like Bobby Womack. When it's cold outside, I know I can't sing right now. Go get you a hoodie. Get you a hoodie, man. Go ahead and get you a long sleeve shirt. And if you just don't give a damn about the cold, go ahead and get you a t-shirt. Check it out. WeWorkForEverything.org. I'm your boy, Doc Holliday. I'm the voice of HBCU culture. This is where HBCUs matter. HBCU Overdrive. We'll be back on this thing on Thursday. All right. But until then, as always, be blessed, stay safe, hug your loved ones, because again, one day they'll be here, the next day they'll be gone. We'll be back Thursday. Peace out.